You guys, let's talk about Ebola.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it's gonna come here.
No, it won't.
Yes, it will. They
No,
predict
it
by.
won't.
They
What if we just
predict.
did that for 5 minutes?
Yes, it will. No, it won't. Yes, it will. No.
Why do you think it's going to come here? Let me talk you out of it.
How interconnected we are with world travel and everything. You can't keep a disease down.
Yeah, you can, and here's why. Because Ebola is so fucked up that you show symptoms so fast
Yeah.
and it kills you so fast that it's actually kind of hard for it to spread. Like in that movie Contagion, there's like people sneezing on each other on a public bus, and then people get on planes. Like well, for one thing, it's not airborne.
Yeah.
You get it from
Yeah.
touching someone. So,
No, exchanging fluids.
well, if you're sweating and they're sweating, it's a not high likelihood, but you can get it that way. But you can't get it just from, like, almost always the flu is airborne. So even though it's highly infectious, but not highly contagious.
Right.
And the reason that it's spreading so out of control in 6 countries now in Western Africa is that there's not very much education about it, so people aren't being told until kind of it's too late to not touch each other. And they have these burial traditions to touch the body a whole bunch, and people are finally getting talked out of it recently. Which is really hard to talk people out of it because people so terribly distrust their government, especially like in Liberia, which is war-torn.
Well, right, and didn't they have a center for Ebola that was attacked and like destroyed? There were patients there.
Well, a bunch escaped because they were basically being held prisoner, and they were like, and they had to get out. And I know there've been a bunch of riots, basically, like because some towns have been tried to in Liberia and Sierra Leone. They tried to like quarantine towns, and then there were riots. Like, no, we're getting them. But there haven't really been any big facilities to overtake because the response has been so slow and underfunded. Partly because it's so highly infectious. Not a lot of people want to go work there.
Yeah. Jesus.
And it's Africa, so people don't care.
Yeah.
But a third American
Hey,
did
I
get
care.
I care too. A third American got it.
Yeah, yeah. A third American got it.
I care about that third American too.
They're in Nebraska now. But it's a 50% mortality rate with this strand of Ebola, but we're still like months away from a vaccine or really being able to contain it.
Well, didn't they cure the 2 white doctors that came back?
Well,
with
they
it?
did take the vaccine,
Yeah.
but they probably just got better because they were well taken care of.
Yeah. Lots of green tea.
Yeah. Probably.
Antioxidants. Superfoods.
Acai berry.
But yeah, so far there's been 2,000 deaths. And if you're a gamer and you want to help fight Ebola, there's this gaming company called Fold It that gives you like a 3D image of the Ebola virus thing. I don't know. Somehow if you're like a smart puzzle gamer, you can like help come up with like new protein strands to combat. And this has actually like worked with DNA or something. I don't really get it. I'm not a smart
I don't get
puzzle
what
person.
that means. So you create.
Google Fold It.
Okay.
And then if you're like a smart puzzle person, you can like help solve the puzzle
You
of the
can cure
Ebola virus.
Ebola.
That's
Yeah,
fun.
because there's this like 3D game that like gets this. It's basically like crowdsourcing the Ebola vaccine
non-doctors.
using gamers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a puzzle.
Yeah.
Cool.
Life's just full of puzzles. Anyway, so China turns out isn't a democracy. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I knew that.
I knew that.